Our first reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah is this beautiful prophecy, and in scholarship circles we would call it eschatological, that it is pointing to the end time. It is pointing to some moment in the far future where there will be no problems, where God himself will provide for every human need. Because think about it, the prophecies come to me, all you who thirsty, and I will give you drink. Come without money and pay without cost. In the time of the prophet Isaiah, and for the vast majority of human history, this was unimaginable. What do you mean that food will just be provided, that drink will just be there? That's not how it works. We have to scratch and claw and labor for our food. The biggest question in every human's life at the time of Isaiah and at the time of Jesus: where's my next meal coming from? Because generally they didn't know. There was no refrigeration. There was no supermarket. You had to decide, well, we've got that one goat, but that's a one-time thing. If we eat him, what comes after that? But if we keep him alive, where are we going to get the grain to feed him and us? You and I don't deal with these questions. And yet, God says all of that will go away. It won't be a question anymore. And that's what we see made manifest in our gospel today with one of Jesus' greatest miracles. Something that mirrors a miracle from the Old Testament. A miracle that was performed by God himself, not through a prophet. The manna in the desert, the bread of heaven that comes down and feeds the Israelites as they wander for 40 years. God himself does this. No prophet comes close to doing anything as great as that until Jesus. And he shows us clearly that although he came to bring salvation to humanity, to save us from sin and death, he is not unconcerned with our bodily needs. Our earthly life is important to him as well. God cares for us on such a deep, immense, and profound level that we can't grasp it. It goes beyond human love. So much so that he'll take a few loaves, a few fish, and change the laws of nature, or at least manipulate them a little bit, to feed thousands and thousands of people. Those are the laws he made. They're his rules. But my people are hungry. Where could we possibly get enough food for them? I'll take care of it myself. That's how God looks at each and every one of us. There is no length he would not go to. Not merely to help us spiritually, but to help us physically. We too, brothers and sisters, as good Catholic men and women, are called to be concerned with other people, to love other people in the same way that God loves us. We should all know the 7 corporal works of mercy. Because while Jesus clearly is concerned with the first, feed the hungry, it's not a leap to say that All 7 of these ways of caring for the physical needs of people are rooted in that love that Jesus demonstrates in the feeding of the 5,000. Give drink to the thirsty, shelter the homeless, clothe the naked, care for the sick, visit the imprisoned, bury the dead. In some way, brothers and sisters, the love God has for me must be made manifest in this life. It can't just be an idea. It can't just be empty words. It has to come from a genuine place of love and concern for the well-being of others. And who are these others? To whom am I to carry out the 7 corporal works of mercy? Well, who does Jesus help? Are they the least among us? No, it doesn't say that in the gospel. Were they the richest? No, it doesn't say that either. Were they Gentiles? Were they Jews? We don't know. What we know is that they happened to be the people in front of Jesus at that moment. They were there and they were in need. Done. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter what they look like. Doesn't matter what language they speak. Doesn't matter what religion they practice. They're human beings. And they're in need. God is willing to help them. Are we? Finally, at the beginning of Mass, I mentioned that all 3 of our readings really help us to understand this teaching, this great love and concern God has for us and that we are to have for everybody. But our second reading seems not to fit. St. Paul's letter to the Romans. What would separate us from the love of Christ? Fear or anguish? Angels, principalities, powers, height, depth? And St. Paul says, nothing. Nothing can separate us from the love of God we have through Jesus Christ, in Jesus Christ. And what that means for you and me is that care and concern that Jesus shows to the crowd by feeding them, by caring for their bodily needs, their earthly necessities. We too must allow this love to bear out on earth, no matter what. Nothing on earth can get in the way of you and me living out the love we have for each other and for everybody because God loves us. And there was nothing that could stop him from manifesting that love on the cross. And so you and I, brothers and sisters, no matter what any individual says or does, any corporation, any government, any angel, any demon, nothing on earth can prevent us, will prevent us from doing good unto those that happen to be in front of us at this moment. Because we are called to serve and to love and to have earthly concern for everyone, no matter who they may be.